Hey, what's up? My name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be starting a reading vlog for Later by Stephen King. This wasn't really a part of my reading plans for this month, but I recently just bought this book at Barnes & Noble, and because it's so freaking short, it's literally less than 250 pages, I thought it would be fun to just do a quick little reading vlog for this book. I don't imagine it will take me very long to get through this, but I still thought it would be fun to capture my feelings on this book. It's the newest Stephen King release. I'm pretty sure it came out in the month of March, and I guess this is part of his hard case crime books, which I don't think I've ever read a book from this series. I don't even know if it's a series, to be honest. But I wasn't even really planning on reading this book, but the premise on the back really intrigued me, and the fact that it is so short, I just figured it would be a quick, easy book to get through. I think it's about a young boy who has some kind of like supernatural abilities, and this sounds like it could be a lot like his previous work because it says with echoes of King's classic novel It. So I mean, I don't know, just that alone has me pretty excited to read this. If you are new to my channel, you might not know that I've done quite a few different Stephen King reading vlogs. Like, that's something I really focused my channel on in the year of 2020, was doing a whole bunch of different Stephen King reading vlogs. So I will link down below every single previous Stephen King reading vlog that I've done thus far. And next month, in the month of April, I'm going to be doing a whole reading vlog for The Stand. It's going to be like a whole read along thing, and there's going to be a live show in May. So it's going to be a really fun time, but for now, we're going to jump in to Later. And because this book is so short and because it's so new, I don't think I'm going to include spoilers in this vlog, so this vlog will be spoiler free. Let's jump into Later. I will see you later. A little while, and I am 75 pages into Later, and I've got to say, so far I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, I'm finding this to be one of the easiest Stephen King books to get into. Like, I don't know why, I usually find the beginning of his books to be pretty slow and like daunting, and the writing style usually takes some time to adjust to, but for some reason in this book, I don't know if it's because it's so short, it's just really easy to get into. I didn't realize we were going to be following from the point of view of the young boy, so maybe that's another reason why it's easy to get into, because we're following from the perspective of a child. At the beginning of this book, he's like 6 years old, so that's really interesting, and I'm actually really liking the point of view of this kid. He's like really funny and just like really smart for his age. And just to give you a general like more synopsis of what this book is actually about, because now I know a little bit more, we're following this young boy. He's like 6 years old. His name is Jamie, and he has the ability to like see dead people, and I guess like there's some restrictions on like how it works for him. He can like see dead people that have just died within like 3 days or less. Like, he doesn't see them for a very long time, but he can see them like immediately after they've died. He can like see someone standing next to their own body and something like that. Like, it's super creepy and weird. And this book is just following him and his mom. His mom is like a young single mother, and she's actually working for like a literary agency, so she's kind of into like the book publishing world, which is super cool. I actually just finished reading Who is Maud Dixon right before this, so I just finished reading a thriller book that involved characters that worked in like book publishing, so that's kind of cool that it's involved in this book as well. And you know, I do really love that. Like, I love any books that kind of deal with like publishing and like that whole world. So far, I don't know, I'm finding it to be really interesting. There was like a twist in the plot around like 50 pages in, and since then I feel like the story has gotten even more interesting, and I'm just curious to see like where this goes. And so far I really do like the characters. I do like books that follow like a young boy and a single mother. It kind of reminds me of like Imaginary Friend in that way a little bit. But yeah, I'm really curious to see where this goes. I really do like this young boy's ability. I think his like supernatural abilities are really cool. I really like the way this book is written too, because the perspective is almost like he's writing this as an adult reflecting on his childhood. So he'll keep giving you little hints like, later on though I realized this wasn't the case, or like later on that's when everything fell apart. And so it's kind of like leaving you all of these hints of like where the story could be going. So I really like that, and I hope this kind of like spans for most of his life. Even though it's a short book, I think that's where it's going to be going. I'm intrigued. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. Hey, it's now a couple of hours later and I'm on page 144, so I am making my way. And yes, this is a wrapper of food for my bookmark. But I am still really enjoying this story. I'm actually trying not to like blast through this whole thing in one sitting, because, you know, I want this to be at least a somewhat entertaining vlog. But I'm still really enjoying this. I'm finding this kid's point of view to be so entertaining. Now that we're a little bit further in, I'm getting to the point where he's kind of like a little bit older. Like, he's not 6 anymore. Like, he was only 6 for like the first start of it, and then he's kind of been getting a little bit older. But I also really enjoy his mom's character too, and her relationship I find to be pretty interesting. I don't know, I do really like reading from Jamie's point of view. I'm finding it to be really interesting. I even read the description too on the back, because I wasn't sure how much they reveal about this story in the description. But on the back here it does say Jamie discovers when an NYPD detective draws him into the pursuit of a killer who has threatened to strike from beyond the grave. So like, you do know that jumping into this. I didn't know that when I was jumping into this. I just knew it was about a boy with supernatural abilities, but there's like so much more to the story than I originally thought. And I feel like so far in the first like 100 pages we got to see more of the like crime aspect of this story, I guess, and just kind of know about his supernatural abilities. But now I feel like we're getting to the point of the story where it's actually starting to feel kind of like horror to me, and it's kind of spooky. And I love that, because I wasn't too sure if this book would be like horror or not. I thought maybe it would just be like a crime thriller kind of book. But that's why I do love too, like, he does have that note at the very beginning of this book that's kind of like, I'm assuming it's to the reader who he's talking to in the beginning, but it's just this like note from Jamie when he says like, I don't like to start with an apology. And he says right at the end of this part, he says, I think this is a horror story, check it out. Like, so I wasn't sure like how much into horror this was going to get, but now it feels like we're really starting to get to the horror aspects of it, so I'm really enjoying it. And as much as I want to like immediately blast through this whole thing right now, I think I'm gonna set it aside just for a little bit. We're gonna take a quick shower. Me and my sister are probably gonna eat some food, and then I think we want to watch that show, The One, on Netflix, because it's been up for like a little while now and I haven't watched it yet, because I'm nervous too, because I've heard if you really enjoyed the book then you're probably gonna be disappointed by the show because it's so different, is what I've heard. So I'm gonna go in with some really low expectations, but I will update you later. I think I want to try and finish this tonight. Like, I don't know. It is a little bit later in the night. It's only like 10 o'clock right now, and I wanted to let you know that I'm currently 172 pages into this book. Earlier today I did get the chance to read a little bit on the patio because it was actually pretty nice and like sunny out today. It really felt like spring was starting today, so that was pretty nice. And then we did end up watching the first episode of The One, but we were both just kind of like not really feeling it, and it's so different from the book that I'm finding it hard to get invested, and I just don't really care. So instead we ended up renting the movie from Amazon Prime. We rented Train to Busan, which is a movie I've been wanting to watch for like literally so long because it's this like Korean thriller action movie and it's like a zombie movie, and oh my god, it was so good. It was just so much fun. It was like everything that I love in a zombie movie because there was like really great action, really high stakes, and I actually cared, like genuinely cared about the characters, and I cried at the end. Like, what? Yeah, it was really good. It was a really amazing surprise that I loved the movie so much. So yeah, as I said, I'm 172 pages into it. Right on the page before, there was kind of a thing that was kind of like a plot twist. Well, I don't know if it was a twist, but it was just something big in the plot that I was like, oh my god. It's kind of like sad about that just happened. So I'm feeling really like connected to these characters in this book. And I don't know if I'm planning on finishing it tonight. I mean, I have less than 100 pages left and it is so early in the night that I might just like try to finish it tonight. Oh, it has been about 24 hours since I finished reading Later. I have mixed feelings about this book. There were some things about this book that I really loved, and then there were some things about that last 100 pages that I did not really love. I feel like I'm kind of torn because I really did enjoy the perspective from Jamie in this book. I liked reading from the point of view of this young boy. I thought his point of view was really like funny and entertaining, and I really adored his relationship with Mr. Burkett, I think is how you say it. I loved Mr. Burkett's character. He was definitely the standout of this book for me. I really love Jamie's relationship with his mom. I just thought it was like so wholesome and pure, and like the way he just really loves his mom and wants to protect her. It was just really sweet. However, I do feel like the ending just got a little bit too, I guess, a little bit too crime heavy for my personal taste. I feel like obviously like that should have been, you know, obvious to me because this is a hard case crime book, so like I should have expected there to be more crime towards the end, but I was so obsessed with the kind of like supernatural spooky vibes that were happening in like the middle of this book. I just wanted that to continue into the end, and in a way it did a little bit, but it just wasn't quite what I wanted it to be at the end. Like, I don't know, I just got kind of bored with where the story was going at the end. And then there was a plot twist at the end that was just unnecessary. If you've read the book, then you know probably what twist I'm talking about, but like, why? Dear Lord, why? I mean, it was a good twist in the sense that I didn't see it coming, but also why? It's just a little disturbing, and I was not here for that. But overall, I mean, I still enjoyed this book. I would probably still give this maybe like a 3.5 stars. It just depends. I still need to think on it a little bit more. I enjoyed it for the most part, but like, am I recommending this to people? Like, I don't know. So yeah, I'm sorry if this vlog is anticlimactic and probably short, but I feel like I flew through this book pretty quickly, and I feel like that does say something for my enjoyment level of this book. Like, I was able to get through it all within like one day. But at the end of the day, this one just ended up being alright for me. Well, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out. I've made reading vlogs for many other Stephen King novels, so if you're interested in seeing some more of my thoughts on other Stephen King books, I will have all of those vlogs linked down below. And if you didn't know, next month I'm going to be reading The Stand in the month of April. All the deets will be down below. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. And if you've read this book, please let me know your thoughts on it. And I will see you very soon with another video.